diving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning, everybody. Cold. Yeah, springtime in the Rockies. That was just pretty much a major rainstorm. So, yeah, and if you got down trees and stuff, let me know. That's what my brother-in-law does. He does a great job of it. He's really, really good at it. And you guys know me. I wouldn't suggest something to you unless I knew it was worth it. So, he takes very good care of his customers. So, and he's getting back into it. He's really good at that stuff. This is Sawyer. Hey, Sawyer. So you're gonna help me keep my hands warm. You are. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Man, I think I might have allergies or something. All right, if you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. And of course, welcome to Daily Trudge. It's good to have people here. Good to have you here when you're here. Weekends are always, especially Sundays, because people are at church. Right. So searching for similarities. Maybe I'll just sit here for 10 minutes and pet my cat. So similarities. So when we first come into the rooms, this is something that we're gonna kind of want to take a look at. Okay. When you come in, keep an open mind. You know, I'm gonna just say, let me correct myself on that. What I'd like to say on it is just keep an open mind, man. It doesn't matter how much time you have in the program, right? Because what's happened is we spent most of our lives believing that we were hopeless, that we could not, people just weren't able to help us. We go see doctors, we go see therapists, we go see psychiatrists, and they just can't seem to help us. A lot of that has to do with the fact that we do not know how to be honest with them. And that's not your fault. You were born that way. You really were. I'm petting a cat here. You guys can't see him, but so even then, before we came in, we alcoholics and addicts suffer from what we call terminal uniqueness. Okay? That means that we think there is nobody in the world that has the same problems that we did. Well, if you had my problems, you did. And these are true statements. They're not untrue statements. In our head, it is true. But what we're actually doing is we're drinking at people. And that turns into resentment. So we get into the program and we find out that we are not terminally unique. Some of us agree with this. Some people find it a relief to come into the rooms and find people that are just like them. Some people will not like it. Don't you tell me what I am. I got a great clue of what I am and what it is that I do, right? So this is exactly why we share our experience, strength, and our hope. So there's directions in chapter 5. And yes, I might be reading at a day at a time today. There's directions in chapter 5 on how we speak at meetings. There's always directions in here. Our stories disclose in a general way what we used to be like, what happened, and what we are like now. A lot of speakers take this, but this is the formula that I use when I speak at a meeting. Why do I do that? Because I want them to understand that I know, number one, that I know where they're coming from. And then I want them to know that I became aware of it and then what I did about it so I can provide some hope. There is a way out. There really is. And the way out is immensely beautiful if it's something that you really, really want. So let's get to the reading. We got somebody that's hanging on. So thank you. I appreciate it. And you can certainly stay anonymous if you like. Um, all right. When I first listened to people in the program talking freely and honestly about themselves, I was stunned. You know, I I've been attending AA since I was 14, so I was used to all of this already. So when I came back in the group, I already knew this. I knew that this was going to happen. Okay. The thing is when I came back into the program, I was scared that God wouldn't have me back after the chance that He gave me because He gave me a chance at a beautiful life, and I shit on it. Um, so their stories of their own addictive escapades, are of their own secret fears, of their own gnawing loneliness, were literally mind blowing for me. Right? Yeah, because now we come into meetings, we start talking, and we talk freely about what's going on with us. My greatest fear is taking away my freedom. That is my number one fear. And I still have that fear. I was talking to my wife the other day. I'm like, if it comes to putting me in a home, don't. Hey, Ellie, good to see you. I told her, don't, because I'll just escape. I will run, and I'm very, very good at it. Okay, that's what ifing, and we're not supposed to what if, right? So I discover and hardly dared believe it at first that I am not alone. Okay, so yes, the topic is searching for similarities, but we're really talking about loneliness and giving this away freely. See, AA comes together so well. Like when you go to it, have you ever noticed that when you go to a meeting, it's the topic's always perfect? You ever notice that? Huh. That's because the first step fits with the seventh step, that fits with the 12th step, that fits with it all fits together. It's like one big puzzle where it doesn't matter where you put the piece, it's perfect where it is. I'm not at all different from anybody else. And in fact, we are all very much the same. That's right. You are not terminally unique. You are not alone anymore. You do not have to be. The choice is now yours. Okay. And the choice is this: have you had enough of the bullshit? I don't care how old you are. I don't. I've met people I've met people that were 17 that were full-fledged alcoholics. Not one of them. Okay. By the time I was 18, I was living on the streets. Does age matter in that situation now? I ended up on Skid Row in a matter of years, a couple of years. 19. Does that fit all the requirements really? Not really. You think at 19 somebody take their, but when you start drinking at 13, 14 years old. Yeah. Alcohol took me quickly. I was one of those men where it took me quickly. And that's the part of the problem, women, and I'm sorry to say this, alcohol takes women a lot quicker. And gosh, it is uglier too. I don't like it. It kind of pisses me off, but it is what it is, right? I'm not all different from everybody else. I began to sense that I do belong somewhere, and my loneliness began to leave me. This next line is the key to not being lonely ever again. Do I try to give others what has been given freely to me? That's the answer. That is the answer. But they're putting it in question form because we want you to ask yourself that. Are you doing that? I am. I love answering these questions. Yes, I am. And I do it freely. May I begin to see, as life stories of my friends in the program unfold for me, that our similarities are far more startling than our differences. As I listen to their accounts of addiction and recovery, may I experience often that small shock of recognition of, hey, that's me. Feeling that is a quick to chase away my separateness. May I become a wholehearted member of the group, giving and taking in equal parts. Today I'll remember sameness, not difference. Okay? That is also why it's very important that when reading the big book or going through the big book with somebody, that you start right here. Okay. This is where we start the book. Okay. Now I don't read all of this right here. But look, even in my appendices, I got markings already going on. I got millions of copies printed since 1939 because it works. You know, first half of the first step, second half of the first step, and second of all, steps 3 and 4, right? I've got all this stuff circled and everything. And then you go to the preface. There is information in the preface. Okay. And if you skip the doctor's opinion, I'm going to kick you in your shin. Okay. The doctor's opinion is where we get newcomers to be like, oh, that's me. That's me. That's where I've noticed in the doctor's opinion, that's where it starts with the newcomers. That's when they start saying, yes, I am like that. Yes, I want this too, Dion. I'm going to read page 164 and then I'm going to wrap us up here. Still, you may say, but I do not have the benefit of contact with you who write this book. You don't need their contact. What we need to do is get our butts out there and start getting stuff done. If you heard what I was talking about yesterday about the firing lines, go listen to it. Well, maybe. I don't know. I wasn't very happy about. I'm kind of frustrated with the fact that we're being lazy in AA, and nobody wants to listen to it, of course. So we cannot be sure. God will determine that. So you must remember that your real reliance is always upon Him. He will show you how to create the fellowship you crave. Our book is meant to be suggestive only for you, maybe. I don't take these as suggestions. The reason that it says our book is meant to be suggestive only is because we don't hand out advice. I don't do advice. I'm very, somebody may call me and ask me for my advice on something. I'm going to ask a couple of questions first. I'm going to try and understand it. And then I'm going to clarify it and say, you realize that just because I'm giving you advice doesn't make me correct. It's just what I'm seeing. It's an opinion. And that really in the vast majority of things really doesn't mean anything. That's why I'd rather put my focus on helping other people. That's why I don't fight stigma. You can't. You'll just start a fight. Okay. If you fight stigma right off the bat, You are already creating stigma because fighting is a type of it. So be careful on what you say with that stuff. All right. So, yeah, meant to be suggestive only. Okay. That's to make you feel a little bit better about it. So it doesn't feel like it's being forced down your throat. I was told that part wasn't for me by both my sponsors. Right? And they weren't nice to me. Actually, those men love me more than most of the people in the world. Okay. Let's be clear on that. Because second time I came in, I was fucked, man. I was fucked. Nobody wanted to touch me. People still scared me because they thought I was a group. It's always drove me crazy. But when a person cares enough to walk up and say, "Hey, you're hurting. I can see it, and I can help you." There's something that just melts my icy heart, man. Did I become friends with my sponsors? No. Can I call on them? Yeah, I still can. I've been having to utilize them because I can't find a fucking sponsor. Um, in all fairness, lately I haven't been trying. I haven't really been looking. So I think it's about time for me to get back on that. So, all right. God will constantly disclose more to you and to us. Ask Him in your morning meditation what you can do each day for the man who is still sick. I want to clarify something. I have about I have 4 or 5 accountability buddies, so it's not like I'm not covered. I'm covered. It's just that I want to sit down. I have 4 sponsees, so I'm doing the work. May I just need to accept that God has me where I'm at right now. So, but yeah, I think that's a conversation that I need to go have with God and figure out. So, all right, ask Him in your morning meditation what you can do each day. I'm doing it right now. The answers will come if your own house is in order. Yeah, they will. You may not like the answer. When I first got, you guys, I love coming up with, I love inventing things, get things moving right. You guys know that about me. Well, in the beginning of the program, no. I mean, I was ready to open up an AA store. All right, do all sorts of things. I would have broken most of the fucking traditions. And God kept saying no. Then God started saying not yet. Now God usually says yes. And that is because my will is aligned with God. I can see clear enough that I can see his intentions and where he wants me to go. I don't know the exact path. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I don't need to. I don't need to. I have put my faith in God enough times to realize he ain't going to let me down. All right. Have trust and faith in something that big. It wasn't easy to do, but I loved every fucking moment of it. I love getting well. I love finding out new things about myself so that I can pass it on. Because I want to do everything, absolutely everything that I can to help other people. Okay. Doesn't matter. God decides who, where, what, when, and all that other stuff. My job is to be available. All right. The answers will come if your own house is in order, but obviously you cannot transmit something you haven't got. This is a huge line. This line is huge. Okay. This is exactly why I say you should not be a recovery coach unless you have at least a year of sobriety. Right there. Because you don't even know how to wipe your own ass, but you want to go teach other people. No, it's a deflection. It's a deflection to not work on yourself, is what that is. Oh, well, I want to go help other people. You got to help yourself first. What happens in the airplane when those come down? Got to put yours on first, right? Because you can't transmit something you don't have. Period. You can't. You're gonna find a lot of people out there faking this part, and if you've done the work, you'll be able to see right through it, and I would hope that your next reaction would be, "God, I hope they find the courage within themselves to find that." I do, because I want you to feel the same joy I have felt, because I know then you'll never, ever, ever wanna go back, because the high I get from this, alcohol and drugs could never do. Maybe the very first time I drank, maybe that would might be a close comparison. But other than that, nope. I have never felt more joy, more happiness than being in the program. See to it that your relationship was right and great events will come to pass for you and countless others. That is a great fact. So if you do this, you will change other people's lives, countless others. See, even what I do here, like Elle's been listening to this, she can pass it on to somebody else. This person even gonna know me. Who cares? I don't give a fuck if they know me. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't. I would rather sit back, not take any credit, and watch that person get well. Oh man, I thrive off that. I love sitting back and watching people get well. I even love it even more to be a part of it. When they say, "Hey, Dion, can you help me?" Oh, I start drooling, right? Abandon yourself to God as you understand God. Admit your faults to Him and to your fellows. Clear away the wreckage of your past. Give freely of what you find and join us. You shall be with us in the fellowship of the Spirit, and you will surely meet some of us as you trudge the road of happy destiny. May God bless you and keep you until then. All right. Hey, oh, you should join our big book study. We have big book study, 4 o'clock your time, 2 o'clock my time on Wednesdays. I think you'd be a great addition to that. Um, got some newer people, some people, other people showed up. I don't even know them, and they're like ripping through the big book. I love it because I didn't want to be the big book thumper in the group this time. So I love that other people are coming in and giving some great perspectives on that. All right, time is okay. 7 minutes to the noon meeting. So, all right, thank you everybody for being here. Remember, give freely of what you find and join us. I love you guys. Peace out and have a day. Bye bye. Thanks, Elle, for being here.